Michelle Obama, she thinks she's all that, and she doesn't have any respect for us. It's pretty fascinating. Folks, if you want to understand the perverted and warped moment that American history is seeing right now, listen closely to her words as she drives this conversation, intimidates all of those who disagree with her or perhaps don't look like her into submission. She's out of control, and everybody is assisting her in the elite media. Michelle Obama may have met a queen or two while she was First Lady, but that doesn't mean she's the queen, and she seems to think that. Part two of a very interesting interview with Gayle King. Again, to me, this is a window into so much that's happening right now that's wrong in our country.
There is clearly issues between the Black community and policing. And it seems there are still so many people that don't want to even admit that there's a problem with racism in this country.
I wish I had an answer. For me, it goes back to we have to get to know each other. And so much of what is going on is that if you've been raised to assume that all Black people are X, in the case of interactions with Black men and police officers, sadly, it can also often lead to death.
Who has been raised to believe that all Black people are X? What is she talking about? This is not America. This is not the country that elected her husband twice into the White House. It's not. She's desperate to portray us that way. Maybe she thinks that way in her heart, but it's not us. She's using this as another scheme to get power and influence and, most recently, money. And the mainstream media going right along with it. Gayle King was interviewing her today, going right along, assisting every step of the way. These are two of the most privileged people in the universe, yet they don't seem to like us very much. And now it's getting even uglier by bringing up the kids, Sasha and Malia. A lot of us did watch them grow up in the White House, and they seemed very, very nice. But now that they're adults, they too are potential victims of police violence.
I want to be as excited as every parent. I don't want to have to worry about her entering a world where she has to worry about how people would treat her because of the color of her skin. So I am excited, but I'd like to be more excited to know that as she goes out and gets her first apartment and rides the subway somewhere, that they don't make assumptions about her based on the color of her skin, that she's not at risk out there in the world as an adult because she's a Black woman.
You are so incredibly clueless, Mrs. Obama. I ride the subway every single day. You probably haven't ridden it in years. Malia, maybe someday. There's not a problem with white supremacy down there. Crime is a real problem, but it's not driven by white supremacists. Believe me, and you can check the numbers for yourself. You brought your daughter up a lot. I have nothing against anybody for the color of their skin, but if Malia holds the same views as you and Sasha as well, yeah, I don't think they're a force for good as they come into adulthood. Not at all, if they're thinking along your lines. Okay, back to your influence and status and money and jobs you're not qualified for. She's got a puppet show on Netflix. Everybody wants a show on Netflix, right? This one is called Waffles and Mochi. And it's as dopey as it sounds, sorry.
Hello, Waffles and Mochi. Are you ready for an amazing adventure?
The show teaches kids the value of healthy eating and features key themes of diversity and inclusion as Waffles and Mochi travel the globe and learn about new culinary traditions.
Wow, it's like a rainbow in my mouth.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Diversity and inclusion, and it's all about food too. I have a feeling they might be playing a few games with us and having some fun in the writer's room there at Netflix, but who knows? I don't want to be too sensitive to all this stuff. But you know, Mrs. Obama can be very selective with the opportunities that come her way.
After I read the concept, I thought, this is going to be so good. So I wanted to be a part of it, but it was funny.
Didn't have to be.
I didn't have to be, but you know, I asked the question. It's like, look, I don't want to be Mrs. O if there's a better Mrs. O out there.
Who's a better Mrs. O? Let's think about that for a second.
But I had to tell him, Gayle, I am not an actor.
That's right. She is right about that. She is no actor, yet she gets $50 million Netflix deals. Here's an example of the bad acting. Sorry.
Well, hi there.
Oh, hi.
Who are you two?
I'm Waffles, and this is Mochi.
Well, hello, Waffles and Mochi.
Hi.
I am Mrs. Obama. What can I do for you?
All right, this woman has been thrust upon culture again and again and again. Hey, where's Melania, huh? What about Laura Bush? Did they ever get these kinds of deals? Why her? As I like to say, Barack Obama's success seems to have gone to her head. But this is a righteous cause for her, right? This isn't just about money. This is, in line with that nutritional exercise campaign or whatever it is she did when she was First Lady.
We're going to provide 1 million meals to families in need all across the country. So they're going to get little food packages that are Waffles and Mochi specials where they'll have the ingredients and the recipes, easy, affordable. They get it free, but they also find out that they can go back to the stores and do this again. And all these meal kits are going to be healthy so that all families can follow along with the recipes.
Fabulous, huh? Oh, here's the real commercial, though. It's basically, she's talking, it's a commercial. It's a commercial.
They also can see that they can cook an affordable meal quickly, save money and time.
Save money and time. Wow. You know, she does have an amazing platform. She's still popular with huge swaths of the country. And for whatever reason, even though she's boring, she gets interviewed on all these shows and they give her this and they give her that and these books. Look at how lame her message is. In the end, how lame and disappointing. She has an opportunity, but she refuses to take it.
For me, I have developed my own set of tools. Number one, I tell you this all the time, sometimes I have to turn it off.
Yeah, the TV,
sometimes I cannot continue to take it in. Not that
you did tell me that, yeah.
When I'm on the
turn
ledge,
it off.
I have to turn it off. And I think I want young people to be comfortable with identifying those peaks and valleys and knowing that those valleys don't last forever.
Don't last always.
And I just don't want any young person to make a decision about anything when they're in a valley. They have to know that time will move you to a better place.
Well, leave it to me to straighten her out. Valleys are where some of the most productive things can happen in anyone's life, and often we're drawn closer to God in the valleys, not at the peaks. It's all in the Bible. So here she is, picking out her tools that work for her, that advance her brand, but really not doing anything of substance, not going into the community, the real community. If she and her husband went to, say, Chicago or Minneapolis or Baltimore and brokered peace between warring gangs, that would be Nobel Peace Prize worthy. That would command my respect, and it's not too late. Because Black lives, they do matter.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Black lives do matter. Not the way the socialist Black Lives Matter organization thinks. They only seem to care when a white police officer takes a black life. There are so many children losing their lives needlessly. Now, 10-year-old LaDavion Garrett Jr. was shot in the head while he was driving home with his parents on April 29th in North Minneapolis. They were en route to his grandmother's house after picking him up from school. He was playing his game in the back seat. He was rushed to North Memorial Medical Center. He underwent brain surgery and is still currently in a coma. The family is praying for miracles day in and day out. A prayer vigil was held for the young boy on May 1st outside of the hospital. The family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with future medical bills. The page currently stands at over $32,000 raised. Their goal is $100,000. We heard from his grandmother.
My grandson should be playing at home, playing his game. He wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't a disrespectful kid. He was a kid that went to school. He was a kid that listened. He was a kid that had parents that loved him. This is their only child. They shouldn't be having to go through this.
They should not at all. LaDavion Garrett, 10 years old, in a coma right now. Young man, we are sending you our thoughts and prayers. And again, that GoFundMe page. And we're excited here at Newsmax, quite frankly. These pages are starting to make a real difference in people's lives. LaDavion Garrett, massive medical bills. If you would like to help, here's a way. Many thanks, and we'll be right back.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.